so special, so beautiful, it's very difficult to obtain this hardly. And in the Buddha teaching, mentioned, and I'm sure you read, I'm not sure you know that in what is, so in the teaching said, also think of this precious human body, what we have, think of what Buddha used the examples to get this. And what did the Buddha use examples? In the Buddha, in the teaching, said, that's the whole, this, in the ocean, in the big ocean, this is not just an existing story, but it's called in the Tibetan, Tapantharu, means something impossible, something can happen. And this is something, it's just to use that examples. Impossible things can happen in happiness. That examples. It's not something that happened in the past, but it's all in the present and future, but it's just examples. So there is total. And total is long lives. Generally, total, I understand total is well has long lives, but this has thousand years, like lifespans. Again, it's just like kind of impossible things happen in the imagination levels. There. So this total, and also this total is blind, as can't see. Every 100 years, total come up in the ocean surfaces. So every 100 years, that is again another like as kind of just that. And in the ocean, there is one wood or york. In the teaching, say the york that has hole, big hole, and is floating in that oceans. And the floating goes up in the dawn or wherever the wind comes, and that it goes that directions. If wind comes from east, it goes to west. West comes from the south, it goes to north. I mean, it's just floating everywhere. So 100 years, the ocean comes on the surface, and that hole wind comes up, and that hole of the york can catch in the neck of the turtle. Catch. That is very impossible something, but it could be happened. So in what Buddha used the example, that even obtaining the precious human body is more rare than the turtle catching his neck in the york. When you count 100 years, comes up, so it's there. At that time, turtle don't see, turtle don't have intention that he like to put his neck into this york, and the york don't have intention that I like to try to catch the turtle's neck and become as rain, and never had any thought, but can catch. And that is very impossible situation. But to get this precious human body is even more precious than that. That's what it is. And then Buddha used examples as peace. P-E-A, peace. If you put that on the wall, it's possible to catch on the wall or stay on the wall? No, it's very difficult. Again, it's impossible. But then Buddha again said, even that to catch that pea on the wall is impossible, but even more impossible to obtain of this human body. How rare and how precious it is. How precious it is. And then in the teaching said, again, in the needle, if you throw the piece on the needle, dry needle on that needle, how many times the needle will caught the piece and catch them? It's very difficult. Not always easy. It's dry pea. Dry pea. That is, even to obtain the human body is more difficult and more precious than the catching the piece on the dry piece on the top of the needle. Those are the really great teacher Buddha used examples how to obtain such this precious human body. So that's known as thinking of the examples of how difficult to obtain this spiritual body. Therefore, we should have the great joy and appreciation and make benefit with this, what we got. So that is this. And the next one in the teaching said, and think of the numbers of these numbers, reflecting on the numbers of the beings. And now we are human beings, and among the 6 realms, we are the one of those 6 beings. But according to Buddha teaching, for other rest of beings, you know realms, the hell realm, hungry ghost realm, and animal realm, and then human realm, asura, and God's realms, those 6. Yes. So now we take number of them. According to Buddha's teaching, the number of the hell realm beings are numberless. Numberless. And what the teaching said is like justice of the earth. Justice of the earth. And the number of the hunger ghost realms are like sand of the bank of the river Ganges. Sand of the river of the bank of the bank of the river Ganges. And this the animal realm numbers are this is an example of the grain of the in it they make the chunks, you know, like alcohols. They make it alcohol. When they make alcohols, when they what? Barley. When they make the barley chung or barley, and after they take out the flavor or the alcohol out, then that become kind of like they throw that. So this is so many of those people who make it. So this the animal realms like that. It's just so many heaped up as like Bama, that barley grain that are used things. So many numbers. To compare with those 3 lower realms, the upper realms, gods, human, asura realms is just like dust on the nail. Dust on the nail. That's really how it's said. So therefore, even human population is so much. Now they're talking so much. But to compare with that, according to Buddhism, it's not. To compare with others, it's not much. Then you should think of the comparing with the human race. But how many people have that? The 10 luxuries. Or how many people have the 18 endowments? How many people? If there is billions, maybe maybe they're just 2% or 3%, 4% has 18 endowments or 8 freedoms. Among that, think of how many people had 18 endowments. It's getting less and smaller and smaller. Smaller and smaller. So to think of that way, for us, truly we are very fortunate. That's what we call ourselves once in a while. Truly we are fortunate. We are blessed. Blessed. We have all beautiful motivations. We're trying to keep our body, speech, mind intact in the state of kindness and compassion, respect and appreciation, and with mindfulness and all that. It's really so special, so beautiful. Now thinking of this endowment, it's not just merely kind of intellectual thoughts. And when you think this is mindfulness. It is mindfulness. If each of you think of that, bring more joy and abiding on that state is mindfulness. Abiding on the precious human qualities. Each of those we're not ignoring. We highlight of the goodness of ourselves and experience and stay in that status. It's truly mindfulness. It's mindfulness. That's what called body, mindfulness of the body. It's part of the body, mindfulness of the body in entirety. So those are just, I thought, two things